Welcome to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, the #1 resource for automotive sales professionals, managers, and owners to learn how to make money, accumulate wealth, and to all out ball out in the auto industry. And now your hosts, Sean V. Bradley and L.A. Williams.
Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group, and we have a special episode today. But it's so special that I'm bringing in the young Jedi, Malik. I want you to introduce the special guest today. Tell people who we got.
So, millionaires, I want you to give a warm welcome to Miss Allison and Sean from the Gary Lang Automotive Group in McHenry, Illinois. Allison, give him a hey.
Hey, hi. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. So you said Bijan is like Dijon, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's my handle. Dijon mustard everywhere.
Find out, you fancy girl?
Yeah. A little bit, I dabble in both,
So I got to just tell you, before we get started, definitely wanted to shout out my man, Malik, because Malik is on the front lines in the Grizzly, just like keeping me up to date with every one of our individual, reps and our people. And again, he don't bring things to me unless he's impressed. And when he told me, I was like, what? Okay, we need to turn around and make something happen. So we decided to kind of bless the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. So let's just start. Allison, tell us a little bit about you, just a little bit who you are, like your background as a person and, in the automotive industry, how long you've been doing it, that type of stuff.
Yeah. So I've, when I was growing up, I moved everywhere. My mom and I moved all over the country. We actually lived in probably 7 different states. So I got really good at talking to people. I always had to make new friends and just kind of open up dialogue and just put myself out there, which, it was hard at first, growing up as a teen, but you get better at it as time goes by. I've worked a lot of jobs in my life, mostly customer service, have about 10 years of customer service experience. But it's crazy because I found a home, in Gary Lang, which is, I never expected that to happen. Just really needed something to push myself a little bit. And okay, I could make some more money in this,
How did you get hooked up with Gary Lang?
I went on Indeed, and Naomi, she was the one to call me first. Yes, sorry. She was the one to call me first, and we actually had a phone interview on the spot, and I was so not expecting that, but I guess she liked me okay. And then I think the very next day I had the interview with Mike Fulmer, who's sitting across from me right now. So yeah, it went well.
So let's get this straight. So dealers, listen, so I wasn't aware of that. So Dealer Synergy is the one that recruited you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So listen, people don't realize this, but Dealer Synergy specializes in recruiting, screening, interviewing, and hiring. We've actually placed, Allison, you're one of 72,000 automotive professionals that Dealer Synergy has placed in the last decade, all over the United States. Yeah. So no,
That's awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to Naima, snaps for Naima. Naima definitely turn around and tell Mike, let him know that was a Dealer Synergy hire. I love it. All right. So how long did you join the team at Gary Lang in McHenry, Illinois?
So I have worked here. We are coming up on 10 months. So I started 9 months. I started in February 10th, the day after my birthday, actually. It was my first day here. So it was nice.
You haven't even been in the industry a year yet.
No. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. In a year. Okay, let's give everybody the punchline is how many units were you responsible for selling last month?
63. 63 units. Yeah.
63 units. Do you realize that there are some full-blown car dealerships that don't even sell 63 cars out of the entire dealership, right?
That's crazy. I was blessed with Gary Lang for sure. It's an awesome dealership. So.
There. So tell me, you're saying that now. I know there's no pressure because the GM is right next to you, and I'm only kidding. But no kidding. Now Mike is awesome. Shout out to Mike. Snaps for Mike. Mike's definitely a great GM. But tell us why are you so amped and hyped and excited about Gary Lang? What makes it a special place to work for?
So the community is amazing. So, a lot of people, you kind of use that tagline in their business, family owned and operated. This is genuinely family owned and operated. Gary's office is again right down the road from me. I mean, he's just a few doors away, which is crazy. And we do a ton for the community, but it's my coworkers being able to inspire me, answer my, 10 million questions I had in the beginning, because I didn't know. I had never worked in the car dealership industry before. This was everything so new to me. So I had to consistently just kind of bug people, hey, what do I do in this situation? What do I do here? And L.A. Williams, I'm sure, you'll get into him, but he has been such a huge help to me. Malik, I mean, just kind of everybody in Dealer Synergy, but also Gary Lang, everybody's just been very patient and very kind with their, help. So that's amazing. It keeps me going every day for sure.
No, without a doubt. And so if you're listening to this live stream in the Millionaire Car Salesman Group and you are blown away by what Allison's accomplished, I mean, just puts them in the comments right there, like, congratulate her, throw some snaps up there because it's really powerful. But Allison, if I'm understanding you correctly, what you're saying is that part of your success is because of the environment that you're in. Is that what I'm hearing?
100%. Yes, definitely.
So let's talk about that, because I'm going to share this right now to our audience. Like that's not the reality for a lot of stores. A lot of stores, they have like, like it's like Biggie kicking the door, waving the 4-4. People are kicking the door. Well, how many appointments you got? What's going on? Da, 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 da. And then they leave. It's like they're cracking the whip and they grind you and grind you and grind you. Now, don't get me wrong. I know Mike is a beast as a GM, but he is respectful, supportive, and that environment. I firmly believe that if you've got an environment that is conducive to creativity, conducive to happiness. I mean, if your employees are happy, your clients are going to be happy. Would you agree with that, Allison?
100%. It always starts at home. Absolutely. That's what we put out to our customers. And I think that's why I've gotten, a pretty good rapport with my customers, is because I get treated well here, which is nice.
Okay. And so what I'm going to say is this, just straight up, is that what I'm impressed with more than just the number is the fact that you haven't even worked in a car dealership for a full year. I mean, you went in with no automotive experience and you just sold 64 cars last month. That's insane. I mean, like that's not normal. You're one of the top coordinators in the United States of America. Like I don't just have people on my show for shits and giggles. I'm not beat. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, girl, you should be very proud. That's not normal at all. I know some coordinators that are only responsible for 14, 15 cars a month. That's it. So like 60 is just ridiculous. So Malik, tell me what it is, because you work with Allison on a consistent basis. Let's start there. As far as being part of the Dealer Synergy training team, how much involvement do you have with Gary Lang and her specifically?
Well, Gary Lang, it's like they're a family-owned, operated business, but the dynamic between us and Gary Lang is the same way. They treat us like family. We treat them the same. My relationship with Allison is one where she became a leader very early. And I do call monitoring over here at Dealer Synergy. We do what's called Young Jedi Councils. And Allison was probably one of the only coordinators who would say, hey, Malik, you're a little tough on those. Can you lighten up a little bit? So I kind of had to look at the way that I was coaching her, but she knows the process. She's always been very, coachable, and she's a leader. People look to her for example. She sets the example in the room, and she's very, responsible, respectful. So she's just been a joy to coach, and again, to kind of just watch her grow.
Okay, awesome. So let's go through this. If I'm understanding, Allison, when you got into the automotive industry, you didn't know anything about inbound phone call protocol, outbound phone call protocol, qualifications, objections, rebuttals. That was learned solely from Dealer Synergy?
100%. Studied day and night, honestly, like genuinely at home with my husband.
Good. Let's start there. So talk about because some people think that this shit is easy. It's not easy. You know what I mean? So what did you have to do to master your craft? Take us through, pretend we don't know anything. Some people don't know who Dealer Synergy is, what have you. So they don't know that Malik and I are crazy and we're Gestapo on you and shit like that. So how much training do we immerse you with, and talk to us about how much you committed to being successful by training?
So much. We'll start in the very beginning. So the first thing that, new hires do in our BDC department, they go through Sean Bradley On Demand. Everybody hopefully is familiar, but it is, all of your videos, which there are quite a few videos on there, which I was a little nervous at first, but honestly, I'm so beyond appreciative that there was so many, because you hit on so many different topics and aspects, things that you wouldn't really think about. But then you get in that situation and you're like, oh wait, I am well equipped to handle this, situation. So that was the first thing that was super helpful. But I almost like to call myself a little bit nerdy with it, because I went home and I practiced with Jack, who is my future husband, I should say. But we would go through Roleplay. He would be my customer, and I'd say, okay, give me this rebuttal, and I'd have to, think of something off the top of my head. And we did genuinely practice at home for the first probably 3 or 4 weeks of me working there, which I think helped lead to the success for sure. It was a lot, but it was worth it, to say the least.
Let's zero in on this. First of all, I commend you, and your results reflect your commitment and your investment of your time. But there are so many people that don't, because if they're at the dealership and if they are even trying to use Bradley Demand or any other virtual trading platform, sometimes they're distracted with ups coming through and things happening. You have to be in the right environment without distractions, so you're not wasting your time just kind of scanning or binge watching Netflix, metaphorically speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Time. I love that you and Jack were role playing back and forth, customer, prospect scenarios, objections, and rebuttal scenarios, because at the end of the day, if I came there myself as Sean Bradley and I trained you, see, training is kind of fickle. It's not really training, it's exposing. I'm exposing you to information. Real training, real comprehension, real utilization, real transformation comes from 2 things. Okay, from time, experience, from time, and repetition. People want to just cut through. They want to be like Instagram millionaires. They want to turn around and be NFL athletes without putting in that work. This is not normal. You're not going to find somebody that sells 60 cars out of a freaking BDC, like as a BDC rep, 62 cars or 63 cars, whatever it is, as a BDC rep without practicing, drilling, rehearsing. Would you agree with that?
100%. It's all about repetition. That was the biggest way that I had learned. And that was one of the things when I did go into your training, when I first got hired, I was like, why are there so many videos? And then I realized it's kind of giving you that knowledge, but just making sure it is repeated so that it does stick in the back of my brain. You know what I mean? And it helped tremendously. It's all about repetition for sure. Practice.
Okay, so let's go through this. So what type of training? Did you go through any product training from the dealership?
Not too much product training. I think a lot of that was, again, kind of my nerdy side, where at home I would, be on GaryLangAutoGroup.com and, just going through all of the cars, learning as much, because not only did I not have dealership experience, but I'll admit it, I didn't have car experience, like in general. I didn't know too much about cars. And I knew, okay, I need to get some basic knowledge here. So a lot of it was on my own. But then again, I had salesmen who were willing to help me out with these questions, and sales managers, Sebastian and Andrew, just all of the people here who have been really helpful. So that definitely helped. So that was nice.
So I queued you up perfectly because I wanted to prove a point. There's a lot of dealerships out there that think that, BDC reps shouldn't answer inbound phone calls or shouldn't handle internet leads. It should be a salesperson. And here's the thing. This is a woman that Dealer Synergy recruited, screened, profiled, and recommended Gary Lang Automotive Group to hire. And now, less than a year later, she just sold 63 units as a BDC rep, out of an internet department. It's pretty insane. And you just said this, you're not master product certified by General Motors, and you don't have to be. That's my whole point to this. It's more than just the product knowledge. Now, if I'm actually selling the car and I got to do full features and benefits presentation, I need to be a master at that product. But if I am handling an inbound phone call or an outbound phone call, product knowledge is important, but it's not the absolute most preeminent essential. Would you agree with that?
100%. It's a lot about controlling the conversation, giving knowledge to, the customer, but still being able to, kind of guide them into, let's get you into a car, but let's do it in the right way. You know what I mean?
Well, I'm going to just say this, Allison. First of all, I know I'm talking a lot, but you sound very articulate, very confident, and very sophisticated. Sometimes I hear BDC reps that just are clueless, or I might call and do a mystery shop, and I'm like, why am I talking to you? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm a Karen. Like, let me speak to your boss, because you. time. I get to tell just in this interview right here that you got your shit together. You know what I mean? Like, you're a professional and you've practiced and you've mastered your craft. So Malik, can you kind of go through when you do a phone training? You said you do call monitoring, and from the call monitoring, you'll be able to get field intelligence on how you do a personal coaching. Can you explain to us what type of phone coaching, phone training did you do to work with Allison?
With Allison, obviously, it's the daily synergy process, inbound and outbound. The big thing for Allison, her being so new, was just confidence. Having the confidence to implement what you practice, right? And then understanding that it's a process. It does take repetition. You need to put yourself in different situations, make yourself uncomfortable, right, and learn from that. And then, if you need anything, the blind phone master is right on dial. You have the young Jedi right on dial. Literally, if you are unable to schedule a appointment on the phone, write down what happened. Hey, LA, hey, Malik, here's what they said. Here's what I said. What could I have done? Boom, get it taken care of. And Allison, again, she's one of the ones who always reaches out. So it's two-way.
I want to get verification on that. Is that a true statement that, whenever you've got a problem or have you, that our team has asked you to write it down to either Malik or LA, and then you guys review it and try to problem solve?
100%. Actually, there's a really good example of this that I do want to say. I want to say the middle of September, it was after I had already gotten to level 2, I felt my show ratio going down. I still had, a good amount of shows, but it wasn't where I wanted it to be. And I actually scheduled a Zoom meeting with LA because I needed a refresher on the training. I'm not afraid to say that. I know that, it's what I'm doing is good, but it can always be better. There's always room for learning. And Malik and LA, both of them especially, has been on the other end of that phone, just in seconds. It's crazy. And I'm super grateful for sure.
Now, when you hear them give solutions or do live TOs, have you had the opportunity to have them live TO any of your stuff?
Actually, yes. LA has come down here in person to do training with us, and LA has been in our office, which is so cool. It's kind of like a crazy experience to have him in the office with us. But he took actually one of my live TOs. The customer came in and he sold that same day, which I was having trouble getting the appointment, but I was like, LA, you take this. He handled it, and I learned a lot from both of them, so that was great.
Is it so? To me, that's the other thing. I'm not throwing shots at anybody, and damn sure not your director, because you've got a good manager. So this is not Gary Lang, disclaimer, because I don't want to be like, well, what are you talking about? But we work with thousands of rooftops. I mean, literally, and then in the group, tens of thousands of people in the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. And what I find is some people have weak ass managers. Do you understand what I'm saying? That don't do TOs. This is a bad thing. If you don't want the respect of your BDC or your call center, then just delegate and sit back and critique. But if you really want your BDC to be strong, if you really want your internet department to be strong, you've got to be an active manager to lead by example. You have to go in and show, here's how you say this word track, here's how you leave that voicemail message, here's how you handle that person that's pushing back. And it sounds like that's exactly what LA did live, and what LA and Malik work with you remotely. Is that correct?
100%. So happy to have good mentors like that, for sure. So
your manager, your director, she actually goes in and helps and does TOs and things like that. Is that correct?
Yes, definitely. Anytime someone needs, that's just the reality of the situation. Sometimes you can't always get the appointment. Sometimes you do need that second voice. Sometimes that you do need that help. And the important thing is to first ask for help and have, a great manager to stand right behind you and say, pass me the phone. You know what I mean? So I'm lucky.
Awesome. So let's go through this. Deal with Synergy's philosophy is we have an inbound process and we have an outbound process. Let's just say you have internet leads. Which one are your lead source providers?
Cars.com.
Perfect. Cars.com. Let's say Malik submitted an internet purchase request, and you're working with domestic, right?
Actually, now I work with both. I'm a hybrid rep. Yeah.
Perfect. Mike's smart. You know what? He wants you all around. Okay, good. So let's just say that that Malik is looking at a 2020 Buick Enclave, right, from Cars.com. And when you get that internet purchase request and you make that outbound first phone call, we structure that. Here's what I want to do. I'm sure, if you guys would like to hear this woman who's a master at this automotive internet sales and BDC game, and you like to hear her phone skills, you better put down in the comments right now that you'd like to hear her. Say yes, please. Put yes or please right in the comments right here, and then I'll have her and Malik go through the role play. So Malik, you're going to play Malik, right? Okay, so you're a prospect. You submitted an internet purchase request on a 2020 Buick Enclave, and she's the internet coordinator, the BDC rep. I'm waiting. Okay, so so they're coming in now. I've got a couple here. Okay, so we're looking for you guys paying attention right here. If you want the secret sauce right now, you know what I mean? If you want to hear go through this, you need to turn on and put this there. Riley, that's what's up, Riley. I want to put the comments. Okay, so I think, yep, there we go. Ulysses, everybody. Okay, good. Renee, okay, they're ready. Okay, so this is some dealer synergy-ism right here. You ready? Okay, so you got this. I don't want you to tell me what you would do. This is live. You know what I mean? Like, you know how we do a deal with synergy. All right, so I'll be the phone. Ring.
Hello?
Hi, is this Malik?
Speaking. Who's this?
Hi, Malik. This is Allison with Gary Lang Auto Group and Cars.com. Did I catch you at a good time?
Sure. What's up?
Beautiful, beautiful. So I did actually receive your internet purchase request through Cars.com. It looks like you're looking at our 2020 Buick Enclave. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think I did click on the Buick.
Okay, perfect. So just a quick question for you. Have you ever purchased a vehicle online before?
No, I haven't.
Okay, perfect. And what were you looking to accomplish by going online?
I just really kind of want to know how much it was.
Okay, perfect. So it sounds like, getting the best deal is definitely going to be one of the bigger things. And I do want to let you know, so we are a very large dealership. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Gary Lang, are you?
Not really.
Okay, that's understandable. If you don't mind, I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. We are actually a 7 major car dealership here, which means we have 7 major brands. We have so many vehicles. We have actually 2,000 vehicles on our lot, which means that because of our high inventory, we are actually able to lower our prices. I think we're number 1 in McHenry County for finance. So it's not to toot my own horn, but it's a pretty great dealership over here. So other than price, what else is important to you in where you're going to purchase your next vehicle?
Well, you kind of mentioned I am kind of working through some credit challenges, so yeah, that's definitely going to factor.
That's completely understandable, Malik. Actually, I definitely understand where you're coming from. I'm, in my mid-20s or so, and I know, coming out of your early 20s, it is definitely hard to build up the credit. And, so I definitely feel where you're coming from. A lot of other people honestly feel the same way. Average credit score is more often than not. So can I tell you what we do to kind of help out with that situation?
Please.
So we actually have over 50 banks and lenders that we work with. Like I mentioned before, we are a bigger dealership. Because we have so much inventory, we are able to work with a lot of different banks, which is great, which means we're working with every type of finance situation, good credit, bad credit, even no credit. We're able to work something out with that. So I'm really, really confident that we're going to be able to get you a good rate. Does that sound good?
It does.
Awesome. So I'm kind of hearing that, price is definitely one of the things, and then credit. Is there anything else that, you're thinking about when you're looking to purchase your next vehicle?
No, it was just those two.
Okay, totally understandable. I also wanted to let you know, so, big inventory, so we definitely have a lot of Enclaves. What exactly were you looking for in the Enclave?
I just thought it was kind of spacious. Buick's a high, it's a high caliber brand. So that's just kind of where my mind was going with the Enclave. So.
Yeah, most definitely. Enclaves are absolutely gorgeous. I'm looking at a couple outside right now. They're really pretty, but they're spacious for sure. The trunk space is beautiful. We do have a couple options for third rows, which is great as well. Do you have any time, maybe today or tomorrow, to come check out the inventory, test drive a few?
I can probably do tomorrow.
Okay, sure. Does the morning or afternoon usually work better for you tomorrow?
It's got to be the morning.
Okay, definitely. I have maybe a 10:15 or a 10:45. Either of those work for you?
10:15 works best.
All right, stop.
That's beautiful. Okay.
First of all, Listen, she had no idea that we are going to just throw her in front of 17,000 people live and do I could tell you were a little bit nervous, but you sounded so good. And I'm going to say this because we're all friends and it's all love. It wasn't my exact process. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I know that you're a little bit nervous, but you sounded so good. And here's the catch. The other people that are in our group that are not Dealer Synergy clients don't know what my process is. A customer doesn't know that you didn't follow the exact Dealer Synergy process. You followed us through a flow and it made sense. Now, let me explain this to the audience right here. What we try to do with our phone process is do a couple things. One is to identify a prospect's wants, wishes, expectations. Okay, so that's what our whole script is designed to do, is to identify what our true wants, wishes, expectations are. Second, what our process is supposed to do is to meet those expectations. Why? Because Allison, right or wrong, our goal should always be to exceed a prospect's expectations. But we could never exceed something if two prerequisites aren't done first. First, we need to understand what their true wants and wishes are. Next, we need to meet them. And only then, and I repeat, only if you identify and you met, do you have the opportunity or privilege to try to exceed the expectations. So it's identify, meet, and exceed. Identify, meet, and exceed. Yo, if you guys are watching this and you're getting value, this is some real stuff right here. This woman just sold 63 units as a BDC rep in October. Come on. So, and this is how she's doing it. So let's go through this one more time. Now, Allison, can I tag in? Can me and Youngblood role play so you can hear me? Because you don't get to work with me a lot, right? So I'm gonna go in.
Please.
Same thing. So Malik, ring the phone.
Ring.
Hello, can I speak to Malik Bonner, please?
Speaking.
Hey Malik, this is Sean Bradley. I'm calling from Gary Lang Automotive and Cars Direct. Did I catch you at a good time?
Sure. What's going on, Sean?
Okay, well, I was calling about your internet purchase request on the 2020 Buick Enclave. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so it says here that you're looking for that fully loaded out leather. You're looking for sunroof, navigation, and I also have here that you want the rims that spin. Is that correct?
Oh, need them, man. Need them.
That's what's up. All right, I have your first color choice is black. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, just so I know, what is your second color choice?
Orange.
Orange. Man, first of all, you got great taste. Both of those vehicles are definitely available. But quick question for you, Malik, just so I know, what were you looking to accomplish by going online?
Again, just kind of wanted to know if the vehicle was at the dealership.
Okay, so I'm showing that that vehicle is available, but we sell a tremendous amount of vehicles, especially through COVID online. So as I confirm availability, what about that vehicle actually interests you the most?
I thought it was for 2020. I thought the price was pretty good. This is what you guys are asking for.
Again, I'm not sure if you know about our dealership, but we are one of the largest in McHenry County. So again, because of the large inventory we have, we're able to turn around and have significant discounts that we could pass on to you, the client. Sounds cool?
Yeah, it is. Sounds cool.
Okay, so just other than price, what else is important to you in deciding where you're going to purchase your next vehicle?
Well, Sean, I don't want to be down at the dealership all day. So if we can make this happen quick, fast, in a hurry, that'd be great.
Well, listen, again, we are in an Uber world. If we weren't able to make this the most convenient experience, I would never expect you to buy a car from me, okay?
Okay.
All right, so now I'm showing, now stop narrative real quick right here. He threw something in about the vehicle. This is where I'm gonna explain. If that vehicle is in stock, I'm gonna mention, I got great news, that vehicle is definitely in stock. However, if that vehicle isn't in stock, I'm not gonna turn around and say anything doom and gloom. This has to do with the different dealerships' strategies. Certain dealerships might wanna bring somebody in if it's a freaking Enclave or it's a Yukon, there's a whole bunch of them, then I'm not worried about bringing them in, especially if it's a new car, because I could do a dealer locate or factory order. However, let's just use the worst case scenario. So I'm going to jump back into narrative. Okay. So this is the vehicle is not available, right? And I have to find something out. Let's go back in now. So Malik, I just confirmed, unfortunately, that vehicle isn't in stock right now, but don't worry. We are obviously a franchise dealership. I could turn around and either do a dealer locate or a factory order. That's a new car response, right? Second thing is this, if it's a used car, which is the worst case scenario, watch how I handle that. So Malik, unfortunately, that vehicle is not in stock right now, but don't worry. We're actually part of the used car factory network. Do you know what that is, Malik?
No, what's that?
Okay, so we're partnered with wholesalers, auctions, and banks. And if that pre-owned vehicle exists anywhere in the United States, we'll be able to locate that for you. How does that sound?
That sounds pretty cool.
Stop. Now, from here, as I'm training now, again, and then there's a procedure where I would turn around, and if they were open to me doing a used car locate, metaphorically speaking, I wouldn't ask for any type of deposit. I would just turn around and, try to see if that vehicle exists. If that vehicle does exist and I can secure it, I will turn that then into a non-refundable deposit to go get that vehicle. And I do that all the time, all across the country. Make sense?
Yeah.
So what do you think, Allison, hearing this? Is this the type of training that you've been getting since you've been working at Gary Lang from our team?
Yeah, since day one. Yeah, there are moments where I definitely need to refresh myself. I still have to go back into my dealer synergy book, just get everyone needs a refresher every once in a while. But yeah, this is day one.
So let's talk about this. Was just having fun. I just wanted our group to hear the type of things that we go through. So let's go through this. I'm taking notes. What are the biggest objections? Because that's where I want you to list as a BDC rep. What are the biggest pushbacks, objections you get when you're making your outbound, follow-up phone calls from your internet leads? And I'm going to try. Me and Malik are going to try to give you some advice on how to handle them, and everybody else.
So the first objection, I think, would probably be work schedule. A lot of people are, going back to work, picking up second, even third jobs, due to the state of everything right now. So people are busy. Still want to get them in the door for sure, but I need to tell them when they're available, I suppose. I don't know. I definitely need some help on that one.
Okay, so let's do that. While I'm doing this, before I answer that, I'm going to address our audience, the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. Do me a favor, folks. Put into the comments what objections that you get. So if you're a sales consultant, or if you're a BDC rep, or you're running a department, what do you feel the biggest challenges are from your agents when you are trying to follow up with internet purchase requests? What do you get pushed back? Allison, the rock star here, just said that she gets hit with work schedule. So here's what I would say if I were you. If somebody says, well, listen, my schedule is kind of limited, not a problem, without even skipping a beat. And I'm not sure if Mike allows this. The virtual is, well, we could take care of the majority of this over the phone and internet right here. So that's the thing, is what you want to be able to do. And this is predicated, here's the disclaimer, this is predicated upon the dealership's permission. Some dealerships don't want to do virtual, but if you think about it, COVID has reshaped the entire way that the human race has, goes about communicating, shopping, and buying. Would you agree with that, guys? Okay.
100%.
So then if the wave is going this way, if you're surfing, if the wave is going this way, then don't try to go that way. You know what I mean? Or that way. You need to just go with the flow, so to speak. So if somebody says to you, look, I'm really busy, I can't turn around and do this, right? I can't turn around and do this right now, or I come to your dealership, meaning if the schedule is, so then you don't have to. We could do this right here. Look at what we're doing right now. We're in a Zoom. Wrap your mind around this, Allison. We're in a Zoom in front of 17,200 people, and that's just in the group, and then that's not even the replays, that's just live. You see what I'm saying? So again, technology is amazing. So if I'm talking to you and you're saying that you're too busy or you don't have the schedule, I'd say, listen, let me shoot you over a Zoom link right here, and I could actually replicate the exact experience that you would have had walking into the dealership. Now think about this. If somebody walks into your dealership on the sales floor, what do they do after they meet and greet? They're probably going to turn around and take them to their desk, and they're going to turn around and add them as a visit in Vin Solutions, and then they have some type of customer worksheet or Foursquare, and they're going to start getting the customer details. True or false? Right?
100%.
Okay, so then think about this. Why couldn't we do that over the internet through the Zoom? So I have a lot of dealerships that are doing that. And I wouldn't say that go do this for everybody. What I want to do is I just want to give you an idea for people that just don't have the time to come into the dealership and they're pushing back for schedule. So what I would say is all you've got to do is just focus on how you could get as much of this information done right here. Now, there's I'm going to shout out to Tim Cox and Car Now. They have a great product called Buy Now, which is digital retailing. There's other companies out there, but I just think that Car Now is buzzing right now. And there's the digital retailing. So do you know if your store does digital retailing?
We do have like the click to purchase, if that's what you're talking about, on our website. Yes, then we do. Yes.
So then follow me on this. The whole concept of digital retailing is being able to provide technology to the prospect where they could go through almost the entire experience of shopping and getting the details for their car purchase. And that way they could do that all from the comfort of their home. And then all they got to do is either come in to do a final inspection of the vehicle and then go into F&I and they're done. But we also have a lot of dealers that are delivering vehicles to somebody's home or their deal or their office or their job, so to speak. And they're doing most of the legwork through Zooms or through digital retailing, and either setting up an expedited delivery process appointment or they're just delivering it to their house. Does that make sense? So that's what I would say is, like, to be specific, if you have somebody that is, that's a prospect, but they have multiple jobs, or their schedule's kind of crazy, you need to identify how can you alleviate that as an issue. To me, it's not an issue. You don't need to be physically here at the dealership, you know what I mean, until the very end. If anything, we could do as much of this as possible through the phone or through the internet. Questions about that, Allison?
No, I think with the digital retailing, it's helped a lot. Yeah, it's a lot of it does get done over the phone and through email, especially, So.
Okay. So that's one thing. That's to do the deal. Let's make it even simpler. What I believe in is off-site presentations. I know a lot of dealerships that do this. Is that let's not get the apple ahead of the cart, so to speak, whatever that analogy is. Is that I would also, again, this is predicated upon the permission of the dealership, but you as a high-level internet coordinator, which is our term at Dealer Synergy, aka BDC rep, if you had the ability to go to one of your point guards or a salesperson and say, listen, this person can't come in, but they're open to us going to them and presenting the vehicle. Allison, I did that myself when I was selling cars and when I was managing departments. I can't tell you how many times I actually took vehicles, like with no, I didn't take them there and say you have to buy the car. I did off-site presentations with no expectations. We even had the ability to pick people up. Even if they didn't buy a car, we would drop them off. You've got to try to figure out whatever it is that's stalling people or stopping people from doing business with you, and overcome it with prejudice. Meaning, not even just try to help them, try to obliterate that as an obstacle, try to obliterate that as an objection. Malik, do you have anything else you'd like to add to that, or would you concur?
No, I would concur. Exactly what you want to do.
Okay, perfect. Okay. And now, actually, we got Jacob. He works with you, right, Allison?
Jacob, what's his last name? Because I know we had a BDC rep named Jacob.
Jacob DeVito.
Oh, wow.
He was our BDC rep. He no longer works with us. I think he went back to school. Hi, Jacob.
Yeah, he's actually in here. He's like slightly off topic, but what would your best tips be for someone who works in a BDC at Gary Lang with Allison, funny enough, and is coming back from college for 2 months, winter break, going back to work? Just a lot of reading over the script and objections. No, since Gary Lang is a Dealer Synergy client, Jacob, I would say that what you need to do 100% is go on Bradley on Demand. That's what Allison said in there, is go through the Bradley on Demand, because the videos, they're not just videos. You could get videos on YouTube. They're actually interactive training modules that each have a test and a certification. So I would say go through Bradley on Demand. Hell, before you even come back, if you talk to Mike and you're going to be coming back to Gary Lang, I would say, I'm sure Mike would give you a login and password to Bradley on Demand when you are while you're still in college or not at the dealership. And that's what I would do, brother. I would get as much prerequisite information. That way, when you get back to the dealership, you could hit the floor running. Second thing I would do is call this man right here, Malik, the young Jedi, and LA, and set up one-on-one role-playing training. And then 3, what Allison said, on your own, what you want to be able to do is really focus on role playing and just trying to self-educate. You can't just use the small amount of time that the dealership gives you to train. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Think about you the dealership is investing a lot in you as a team member. They need you to produce, make phone calls, connections, appointments, sell cars, etc. So they'll allocate as much as they can, but it's only a little bit of time for actual training because they need production. So what you've got to do on your own, in my opinion, is self-educate, self-train. Would you agree, Allison and Malik?
100%.
All right, good. So that's one comment here. Can I text over you were? You got me a couple of deals. Okay, so Don's right here. Alex said that he needs digital retailing. Absolutely, you do need digital retailing. Here, Renee said customer other dealer has it for a lesser price, but they don't know is that they carry addendums to make up for the advertised loss. So Renee has a good point. Okay, so let's just say this. The scenario is this: is that let's just say Malik is a prospect. I'm working a scenario with Malik, and then Malik tells me that the dealership, ABC Motors, the competitor to Gary Lang, right, has the same vehicle at a cheaper price. So what I would say is this, again, what I'm about to say, Renee, is predicated upon management approval. I believe in a price protection guarantee, personally. I don't know if they have one at Gary Lang. Do you guys have one at Gary Lang?
I don't think we have price protection, but we are able to price match for sure, if not beat it.
Okay, so good. So they that is a price protection guarantee.
Okay.
Okay, so they do. So they have a price match. But she's right because she knows what I'm about to say. So this is not Gary Lang. So Mike, don't freak out, right? So I believe a step further than price match. I got this when I was selling cars. I would refund the difference 110 or 125%. So that means if I had a $500 deal hypothetically, and I gross, that's minimum, I'm just saying right here, and I let them out the door at $500. If they turn around and are able to get it for $400, if they were able to get $100 savings, not only would I refund the difference, okay? I would refund it not 100%, but I would refund it 125%, which is what, $125, who cares? So what I try to do is this. I don't want to try to go back and forth. If I have a price protection guarantee with insurance, so to speak, that really neutralizes anything. Anybody that says to me, I want the best price, I'm going to shop. Like, listen, Mr. Customer, your time is worth money and it's important to us. I don't want you to waste your time. There's no fear for buying from us because we have a price protection guarantee. Do you know what that is? What does it mean? Okay, what it means is this. First, we will match any dealership's price on an in-stock unit, but it's got to be apples to apples, meaning is that, again, it's got to be the same vehicle, the same MSRP, and the same invoices. Again, and this is how, to your point, Renee, we're able to see if there's any BS addendums or hidden fees, etc. Right? The second thing is that, and why I don't have people negotiating a lot, is this powerful statement. We put insurance on it. Remember Domino's drop insurance, which is the stupidest thing in the world, but I think it's funny, is that if you buy Domino's and your pizza falls, they'll replace it. So the idea is, I like the word insurance. They say, listen, if you buy with us, you could buy with confidence, because if you happen to find it cheaper after you purchased it, let's just say within 72 hours and within, let's just say 30 miles of the dealership, we'll actually refund the difference 110, 125%. That is strong as death. Death strong. All right. Again, so that's really powerful right there. So again, that's what I would say, is I would use a price protection guarantee, and that would minimize that even being an issue. But let's just play it out that we didn't have one. It's your store. What do you say? I would ask questions. Folks, remember this. There is something called the Socratic selling method. It's a strategy. It is a whole philosophy. It is selling by asking questions. When you are asking questions, you're in control of the conversation and the flow. The person that controls the conversation flow is going to ultimately win the outcome of this engagement. So if somebody said to me, hey, XYZ dealership is offering it cheaper, I'd say, okay, that's pretty incredible because we're aggressive with our pricing. Is there anything that you could send me so I could take a look at that? Because Mr. Customer, as I mentioned to you before, we believe we have a price protection policy here that we will match or beat any dealership's price. So if you send that to us, I will turn on and take a look at it. And once they send that to you, and then it's like, aha, then I could explain whether it's a Zoom. Hey, Mr. Customer, let me just show you something. This is what you just sent me. And I'm just going to pretend because there's nothing on my screen, right? And so let's just go right here. So let's just pretend this is my Word document. See right here, Mr. Customer, where my MSRP is this and my invoice is this. Do you see what that customer had turned around and said right here? I mean, that dealership said that, do you see this addendum? What that basically means is boom, boom, boom. And people aren't stupid. Renee, I believe that if you are able to get them to give you that document or that deal sheet or whatever it is, you'll be able to identify and isolate if this is, an addendum or hidden fees or BS, or they really are just aggressive and they might be taking a loss or what have you, but at least you have the real information and then you go to your desk. And that's what the desk job is. The desk's job is to make a decision. Do I want this deal or do I want to lose it to my competitor and go from there? Now, depending what franchise you are, some dealers might take that deal because you could potentially make it up on back-end money or retro money from the manufacturer for volume or what have you. I'm going to keep going here because there's great questions here. Yeah, you're getting a lot of props, Allison. Like when you go in back into the group, like this is really good. Yo, if you guys are loving this, if you're getting value from today's session, write the word value in the comments. I mean, come on, we're not asking that much. I mean, I thousands of dollars for this information. You're getting it for free. All you got to do is to keep us talking is just type the word value right here in the comments. All right, so Allison, back to you. So you said the work schedule was a pushback or objection. Give me another thing that frustrates you or your team. What other things do prospects throw at you that suck?
I have one, and I, for the life of me, I don't have a rebuttal for this. I need to talk to my spouse. I need to check with my wife or my husband or so on and so forth.
Okay, Malik, let's see what the young Jedi says. Malik, you could turn around. I'm gonna tag you in. You're gonna hit that, and then I'm gonna get some on the back end. Go ahead.
Gotcha. Okay, so Allison, so I'm hearing you say you got to cover it with your significant other. Not a problem. So who is it? Is it the husband, wife? What's her name?
My husband, Jack.
Husband Jack? Okay, that's a nice name, Jack. So I'm sure I'm as an internet coordinator, it's my job to kind of help you quarterback this thing. Let me ask you a quick question. Would it be helpful if I reached out to Jack to kind of take care of this for you? Or we could three-way him in right now and just kind of get this figured out right now. Would that be helpful if we did that?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Stop. Absolutely. So that's the premise. Now, with my experience, I'm just going to touch up a little bit, but Malik, you hit it right on spot. I would say something like this. So say it to me, say like we're going to role play. I'm not going to explain. We're going to live. So just say, I need to talk to my husband.
I'm sorry, Sean, but I really need to talk to my husband about this.
Allison, I totally respect that. I'm married and I want to stay happily married. So there's no way that I would personally make a decision like this without speaking to my wife, Karen. So your husband's name is?
Jack.
Okay, Jack. So before we even get Jack involved, let's just say that, because you know your husband better than I do. What do you think Jack would say about this? Is this a vehicle that Jack would like?
I think he would like the vehicle. I think he definitely needs some more information on the pricing, but yeah.
Do you think Jack would need some more information on the pricing? What type of information on the pricing? Specifics on the payments or the down payment or all of it?
Just kind of all of it. Down payment I know is a big one for sure.
Trial close coming. Watch this, guys. So, Allison, just so I know, let's just say we took price totally out of the picture right for a second. Do you think this is the truck that Jack would love?
Yeah, I do.
So do you see what I'm doing right here? What you want to do, a strategy when spouse comes into it, unless they have a horrible marriage, right? You know what I mean? Like, again, it's respect play. You want to definitely involve the spouse, like, without them even being there. Do you see how I was asking those questions about what do you think your husband would say? What type of questions would he have? Boom, boom, boom. So I'm now basically respecting her, saying that, I totally get it. Instead of going like, some people old school would say, you have your husband make all your decisions for you and all this other dumb stuff. You don't ever want to go, she was like, oh my God, people say that? Crazy people say crazy things like, right? So I love that. But then I love what Malik said. I'd say, well, listen, Allison, I've got a great idea. The best way to do this, instead of like me giving you information and then you're relaying it to him, let's just get Jack on the phone right now. I could Zoom him right here, or I could three-way call him. How's that sound? And see, again, they might say, no, he's doing this, he's doing that, but let them do that. Don't be your own enemy. What you've got to remember, and here's a big learning point, folks, right here. Okay, a big learning point is this, is that you need to fight little battles. Okay, that's it. You don't need to turn and close on the first sentence. What you need to be able to do is just get to that next higher position. Think about this. Can you imagine climbing a mountain? I mean, unless we're Superman or Superwoman, we couldn't just fly to the top. We've got to climb hand over hand over hand to just get one notch closer, like with the spikes, one notch closer, one notch closer. That's all I'm trying to do in the conversation is, if she turned around and threw a freaking branch in my face as I'm climbing with her husband as a spouse, I need to move that branch and it might smack me back. I got to move it back and then I can move forward. That's what the dialogue is. Does that make sense? So do you like what me and Malik just said about the spouse situation?
Yes, I never think about three-way calling, but I totally can relate about just getting where you need to be through the questions. That's huge.
Listen, and I'm embarrassed to say this, that my kids are way better at like Instagram and TikTok than I am. I just found out that you could have, I was like, like Hercules excited. Don't make fun of me, because I saw that you could have multiple people on an Instagram video chat. Is that correct? You know what I'm
I
talking?
think so. Yeah. No, yeah.
So think about this, is that three-way call is better than nothing as an audio, but what you might want to do is like a group FaceTime, you know what I mean, whether it's through Apple or it's through Instagram, and you could have, like, just like we're doing a Zoom. Wouldn't that be great if we had, instead of Malik, it was Jack, you know what I mean, you had your husband right there in the one square, and then you're right there and I'm right there, and then we could just talk. And then the cool part about that is, if I have my phone, I might be able to go to the showroom or to the lot and actually show the vehicle right then and there if we're on that group video chat. I mean, like, that's the other thing, is that you're young, girl. God bless you. You know what I mean? Like, I'm old. I'm 44 years old and I'm doing this stuff, but you've got to think of the technology abilities that you have. Don't be constrained to an antiquated device like a phone, like you have with the cord on it, because you can't really do much with that right there. I would, if you want to get the husband involved and the husband's not right there or the wife's not there, boom, video conference call, video chat, and shake it on, shake it out. I'll give you an example. I am super proud of the blind phone master. We just posted in our group. Last week he was at, like, I don't even know where he's at dealerships every week. I think he's in Ohio right now. Is that correct?
Right.
He's in Ohio at the Bedford Auto Group. But last week he was at the Patriot Auto Group in Pennsylvania, and he was working with the BDC. He TO'd a difficult phone call from the BDC rep, LA, the blind guy. And then the guy only wanted to do stuff online. That was it. And so he's like, all right. He did the credit app. He got the credit, pulled the numbers, da-da-da. He taught the point guard how to go live. The blind guy taught the point guard, the salesperson who was much younger than him, to go live on Facebook, on Apple FaceTime. And then the guy was so excited about it, he came in and got spotted on the car. And just like how LA's helped you, LA just did this. So if a blind guy is comfortable doing video emails, video text messages, and video conference calls and Apple FaceTimes, you've got to use that in your arsenal. Use everything, my Jamaican voice, everything you got. Use it all, you know what I mean, to get that prospect to come into the dealership. Again, I'm going to ask you this. If you're watching this still, going into 50 minutes, you must be getting value. Show some love to Allison. Say congrats. I want you to put congrats for her massive, colossal success. If you're getting value, type value. So I want you to type congrats and value, congrats, back and forth in the comments. I need some more comments, people. All right. That's how I live, by comments. So now let's go one more. What other stuff? So we talked about work schedule. We talked about spouse. Give me one more.
I'm trying to think. I tackle them a lot. Credit is huge. I do have some, things in the arsenal to kind of tackle the credit thing, but credit, a lot of people are worried about it, and sometimes it goes beyond rebuttals.
So let's go through this. Let's hear you, rock star. Let's hear you, Allison. What, like, if I said, man, like, well, sort of give the rebuttal. I mean, give the objection first. What do they say? Can you get me approved, or my credit's jacked? What would they say?
They would say, I'm really concerned about my credit. Before I even come into the dealership, I want to make sure. I'm sorry, Mike Fulmer, General Manager of Gary Lang.
Yeah. Mike, what's up?
So a lot of people would say, before I even come into the dealership, I want to even make sure that I'm approved, because I don't think I can get approved for this car. So that's the main way they, say that.
So let's hear you first, and then I'll get some on the back end. How would you handle that? Because you said you got something in your arsenal. So if I said, listen, I want to know if I could get approved before I come in.
Okay, that's understandable, Sean. I mean, a lot of people are, having issues at this moment because of everything that's going on in the world with credit. It's a hard thing to overcome, but I do want to kind of put some more confidence in you. We are able to work with every single type of credit. Me personally, I purchased my car from Gary Lang. I don't have the best credit. I'm not, afraid to say that, because they actually did help me, and I was shocked at the rate that I got, and, got such an amazing deal. And I really didn't. I walked in and I didn't even think I was going to get a car that day. But, sometimes we work miracles here. So, there's hope.
Malik, bust some damn shots right there for that one. Bust some shots. Okay, You guys throw some likes and some hearts on that one. That was strong as hell. What I loved about that the most is that you were able to put yourself into there. Okay. You were able to say, hey, listen, I am just like you. You showed empathy. You showed, understanding. And again, you didn't make them feel awkward and icky, because some people, unfortunately in our industry suck, and they treat people that have bad credit like they're roaches, bogues, mooches, or whatever. And you basically just humanized them and personalized it with your own experience, with the validation that Gary Lang helped you. And you're confident if you could get approved, we could help you. So that's freaking phenomenal. My turn. You ready? So I want you to say, Sean, look, my credit's shot. I don't know if I get approved. I don't want to, come out there and waste my time.
Sean, I'd love to come see the car, but I'm a far ways away, and I don't even think I'm going to get approved. So, it's my credit.
Well, first and foremost, let me just say this. I feel exactly where you're coming from. Like right now, the world is crazy. I mean, with COVID, with furloughs, with all this other stuff. And guess what? These banks understand that. You know what I mean? If you think about it, these banks understand that it's not just you. So many people out there are adversely affected. I'm going to tell you right now, I am super proud of our network of lending institutions. First of all, Allison, we have a nationwide network of banks and lending institutions. So it's not like just one bank. We're like, we have a whole buffet of banks that have different programs for every different credit situation. And they are committed to helping our clients, because that's how they could do their part to be able to help our country get back on track through COVID. So I know how it might seem like it's a desperate situation, but think about this. If you feel that you can't get approved, then what's your alternative? That you just keep on without a new vehicle? At least give me a shot. This is sexy right here. Watch this right here. All I'm looking for is for you to give me 1% of your trust, and I'll earn the other 99%. That's fire. I'm gonna repeat that. Okay, is that all I need you to do is give me 1% of your trust, and I'll earn the other 99%. How does that sound, Allison?
Amazing.
See, and can I just tell you something? I don't even know what the fuck I just said. I'm serious. That's not a Bradley and a Man word track. That's just me because of my experience, because it's real. It's like, look, the reality is this: you're not alone. First of all, even before the pandemic, over 60% of people have subprime credit. First of all, 74% of all used car finances are to subprime credit. Facts. If you think of divorce and bad investments before the COVID, now with COVID, yeah, there's a lot of people that got bad credit. The fact is that you got to show confidence. If you know what I mean, if you're like, oh my God, I don't know, maybe we can't help you, we'll try. No, you've got to have assertiveness, like young Jedi was saying before about confidence. You are the subject matter expert. You know what I mean? When I go into the diamond store looking for bling bling, like 50,000 in diamonds, I'm not looking for this dude to be a sucker. Like, oh my God, that's a big order. I want to be like, man, shit, this is what I do every day. I'm a diamond specialist. So I'm like, all right, respect, let's go. So if they're coming to you, they need you to know, like, here's another better analogy than diamonds. Doctors. I don't want to go to the doctor and I'm like, he's like, open up, and he's like, oh my God. I mean, like, don't scare me. I mean, shit, you're trained. You should be able to handle this, right or wrong. Right. And so that's the thing right there. I'm trying to have some humor as we wrap this up. But the reality is this, man, is that you just need to have confidence that you guys are great at getting people approved that have got bad credit, and then be able to project confidence is first of all. Second of all, is be able to articulate details. You can't be confident with no details. You know what I'm saying? You got to be confident and have some details. All right. That's a wrap. I have a hard stop right here. Again, I want to just congratulate you, girl, because again, first of all, I believe our industry needs more strong females. We have a deficiency of strong females and young, strong females in this industry. As you know, my daughter, spent over 2 years in the front lines, slinging metal. Now she's working at Dealer Synergy. But again, and my wife is the CEO of the company. And I just love seeing women win in this industry, because you guys are awesome. And you need to be, more involved in stuff, because damn, 63 cars in 1 month out of the BDC. You should be proud of yourself, because I am super proud, and I'm looking forward to continually to sharing your success. Thank you. Young Jed, I'm going to let you close it out with thoughts.
Yeah, once again, just so proud, super proud. Whether you know it or not, you're averaging 30 cars a month and not even a year at the dealership. And we're here for you. If you need anything, reach out to you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you guys so much. Times a million.
So there you have it, the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast. This podcast comes to you every week from the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. If you have a question about the show or would like the chance to become a guest, feel free to contact us directly at 856-546-2440 or email us at millionairecarsalesman@gmail.com. This program is a presentation of Synergy Records, produced by Jason Caleri and Karen Bradley. Production and engineering by L.A. Williams. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is hosted every week by L.A. Williams and the Millionaire Car Salesman himself, Sean V. Bradley. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast can be found everywhere, so please don't forget to review, subscribe to, and share the show. Thanks for listening to the Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast, and remember, where I'm from, money provides options. The Millionaire Car Salesman Podcast is sponsored in part by Scar Food, Bradley On Demand, and Dealer Synergy. If you enjoyed this podcast, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and leave us a review. Let some other folks know about it. Oh, and don't forget to join the Millionaire Car Salesman group on Facebook. We'll see you there.